I happen to believe, Piers, that it's good for America when you hold the person who has the highest office in the land to the standards of the American law. And in this case, New York state law, where he committed these crimes. I happen to believe that it is a telltale sign of coming totalitarianism, fascism, skirting of the law when you allow a president to simply do whatever he wants and actually never hold him accountable. But look, the reality is this, is that these aren't crimes that were on the books in every single state. These are crimes that are on the books in New York State.
So as the liberals continue to gloat and try to take their victory lap that Donald Trump is a convicted felon, and they try to take this moral tone of no one is above the law, including the president, except the presidents like Bush, who lied us into war, millions of people dead, and his buddy, who was vice president at the time, Dick Cheney, benefited to the tune of billions of dollars in exclusive no-bid military contracts through Halliburton. Those kind of crimes, the crimes of Bill Clinton, the crimes of Barack Obama, droning and killing American citizens in his war on terror and never being held accountable for it, the crimes of literally just about every American president you could think of. But Donald Trump and a porn star, that's tantamount to we have got to stop him at all costs. Okay, but the problem is none of them can actually articulate what law Donald Trump actually violated.
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth.
Hi, I'm Pastor Marty. This is the Afternoon Drive. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And once you are, smack the bell, click the word all. That'll give you a notification of my rants, my ravings, and my undeniably flawless reasonings. Hey, please like and share this video. That's the way that we get the word out that we're here. Help us build our algorithm. Thank you so very much. Welcome to the Afternoon Drive. So Piers Morgan was interviewing a panel regarding the Trump guilty verdict. And of course, you know, he throws in this woman named Francesca. Not exactly sure who she is or what made her so important to be there, but it was obvious she didn't have a clue what she was talking about. And the reason I selected this is because I think it is typical liberal. It is typical uninformed voter who sadly will walk into a voting booth and is going to cast a ballot based on their total and their complete ignorance. And the thing is, she is purposely, willfully ignorant. She wants to take this high moral tone that no one is above the law, especially a guy like Trump. He violated the law, and if he's going to hold the highest office in the land, he can't have violated the law. Okay. I would cede that ground if it could be proven that all the presidents have met that standard. If the majority of the presidents met that standard. If a couple met that standard. But when she's cornered on, well, what law did Donald Trump break? She hasn't got a clue.
So my fellow panelist here is celebrating that the rule of law has been vindicated and overturned 234 years of American legal tradition. I would challenge her to see if she could possibly articulate how and what crime Trump committed, because so far Alvin Bragg, the DA, has failed to do so. The judge in the case, Judge Merchan, has failed to do so. And they can't do it because Trump didn't commit any of the crimes for which he's been convicted.
Well, let's just ask quickly before I go to Kevin. Francesca, just on that point, what crime did Trump commit?
It was financial crimes. It was white collar crimes. That is exactly
Which
what
one,
they
though?
charged him. He was convicted on.
What was the crime?
It's New York state law.
I understand. What was the crime?
It is New.
Francesca
I don't even like it. It is
Well,
literally
hang on, Mark,
he just got convicted on 34 counts.
Francesca, what was the crime?
Of like cooking the actual books.
What was the crime?
You are not allowed. So you are not allowed to use your own financial, like your own money, to pay off somebody, and then he logged it as something different. He logged it as just a regular payment, but he was actually paying off this porn star to keep quiet, which, if he hadn't been running for president, would not have mattered, but he was, and so it impacted campaign finance laws in New York State. Okay, that is what Juan Merchan just oversaw this.
Okay.
Alvin Bragg brought these charges because Michael Cohen, his sister, was already sentenced to 3 years to do it.
Okay, let's just go before Kevin. I'll be very, very, very patient. We'll come to you.
Look, I'm no expert. Let me just say, hang on,
No,
Michael.
Francesca.
You are no expert.
By the
That's
way.
right. Because the campaign finance law is a federal law.
Hang on.
Anyway.
You know, she started out in the first clip that I played that we understand that a lot of people in America don't understand what's going on because these are not laws on the books in all the states, just in New York. But then she's trying to make this, as is Alvin Bragg, into this federal case of election law. Well, newsflash, if it's a federal election case that you are stating that he was using money to keep her quiet so that it didn't interfere with his campaign, like no other campaign has ever paid people to shut up and go away so that they can be seen in the best light. There is an entire movie dedicated to how the Clinton team turned this into an absolute cottage industry, a movie called The War Room, starring George Snuffleupagus and James the Raging Cajun Carvel. It's the economy, stupid. You drag $100 bill through a trailer park, you're going to get the white trash girls coming out with all kind of accusations. I mean, they invented catch and kill. But of course, this only applies in her mind to Donald Trump. But here's how incredibly stupid she is. If the money is a violation of election law, that's a federal crime, not a state crime, thus out of Mr. Braggart's jurisdiction, which is why the judge basically told the jury, go and find a crime, any crime. We'll give you a list that you can pick from. You don't even have to be in like unanimous agreement. Just get him on something. And here's the thing. The liberal lawyer on this panel has to explain this to Francesca, and it's killing him because he's not a Trump supporter on any level, doesn't like Donald Trump, but he's trying to explain to his fellow liberal compadre, this is not good. This is very bad, what they're doing.
I want to go to Mark. You're the lawyer. Is anything Francesca just said, is that actually the crime?
Look, let me just say, I like Francesca a lot, and we probably agree on 80% of our worldviews. However, Francesca, the way you just described it, call me afterwards and I'll educate you, because that's not what happened. There was no theory that was given to the jurors. The jurors were told it could have been campaign finance, it could have been tax, it could have been false books. They were told they didn't have to specify, and specifically told they did not have to agree unanimously. That's what irks me. Lifelong Democrat, no fan of Trump, never voted for Trump, never will. But I will tell you, as somebody who has spent his entire career with kind of taking on unpopular causes and holding the government accountable, I have to tell you, I do that for a reason. And the reason is this kind of shenanigans, and that's the best light I can spin it, in the criminal courts has no place in a federal election.
Of course, her whole reaction is, I don't know. I'd say, I'm not like a lawyer or anything. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. You were sick the day they taught law at law school.
One would think if you're going to articulate an opinion based on a court decision, you might want to know something about the law and the verdict before you opine an opinion. This is where Pastor Marty is going to bring a little biblical theology into this. The Bible says a fool answers a question before he actually knows what the question is. Or let me let me give you some expository understanding of that text. Not just somebody who tries to answer a question before someone finishes asking it, but somebody who tries to answer a question on a subject they know little to nothing about. But in all fairness to Francesca, it isn't just her. Even so-called members of the establishment real news media haven't got a clue what they're talking about, and they're getting fact-checked in real time, and they don't like it.
There's wrongdoing here, right? There was definitely wrongdoing. Whether it should have been a crime is a separate. What's the wrongdoing? What's the wrongdoing? All right, number one, it's paying $130,000 to a porn star to keep her quiet. That's to try to protect your campaign. Can we at least agree that's wrong?
That's not illegal. This wasn't illegal. There's nothing illegal about paying hush money for an NDA. It's done
There's not.
all the time.
But when you're doing it to protect your campaign, it is. That's the difference.
No. What law are you citing, Dan?
Campaign finance laws. You're not allowed to give the...
You don't know what you're talking
about.
What are you talking? You're wrong.
Explain to me.
Let me explain to you.
Tell me what I'm getting wrong. Tell me what I'm getting wrong. When you're spending $130,000...
I'll explain.
Go ahead.
I get it, because you're saying that there are limits to the campaign contribution somebody can make, and this has exceeded them, and then they hit it. I understand. That's his theory. However, this has been wrong from the start.
Yeah.
It does not amount to a campaign contribution if it is the kind of payment that could ever be made outside of the campaign context.
That's not the standard. The standard is substantiality. It's not. It's substantiality.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
You're wrong.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Well, I guess we're going to have to agree.
There's been Supreme Court precedent on this. Talk to Brad Smith, who was the FEC commissioner.
You're
wrong.
Well, Megyn Kelly basically ate Dan Abrams' lunch, and, we'll just have to agree to disagree. No, there's law, and this is what the law is, and your opinion or how you might understand the law to work is not actually how that law works, and no, you don't get to have a difference of opinion on it. One opinion is based on fact and is correct, Megyn Kelly, and the other opinion is based on the conjecture of the fact you hate Donald Trump so much, let's get him on anything. And so Francesca finally kind of cedes the whole legal argument that, even if there's no legal issue here with Trump, he's just here we go, Trump derangement syndrome finally kicks in. He's just a filthy pervert.
This candidate is someone who, and it is not the crime, however we know, cheated on his pregnant wife with a porn star in a hotel in Lake Tahoe and then bragged about it and then tried to pay her to shut up, and also paid another Playboy bunny to also be quiet about their relationship.
Bill Clinton had sex with an intern
You're going back to Bill Clinton
because
it's the only thing you have.
Well, it's not a bad thing to have.
You're going back. No one's
unlike
talking
Trump,
about Bill
he was
Clinton.
president at the time.
I don't mean to pick on Francesca too much here, but it's very telling that even the liberals who are going on television to defend this ruling have to Google in the breaks to figure out what the crime was. and even then, I'm sorry to say, misrepresent what the actual supposed crime was. The reason here that this has to take... Well, excuse me one second, Francesca. I'll just finish my point real quickly.
Books. That's the same thing.
It's not a felony, not a crime. But anyway, that's a point for another time.
So Donald Trump is not fit for office because he had sex with a porn star. They're sex workers. Sex workers. Because we got to have the right term, the right title. Okay. But you're now degrading Stormy Daniels by saying this is just Donald Trump. She said earlier about his bronze-stained sheets that he didn't want the American public to know about. So Piers Morgan does what he should do, which is rebut this with facts. Hey, if you're going to hold Donald Trump to the standard, which, by the way, he hasn't ever even admitted having sex with Stormy Daniels. I've talked about this ad nauseum, that people like Trump, celebrities, whether they be sports stars, music stars, movie stars, anybody that is perceived with some fame and some money, they don't want their reputation destroyed. People come forward all the time with accusations. He did this, he did that, and they pay them to just go away. And that is what Donald Trump I don't know what happened. You don't either. And neither does this twit. So Piers Morgan hits her with what we do know based on actual admission and his acknowledgement of having done it. And I'm referring to Bill Clinton.
Why is Bill Clinton able to have sex with an intern in the Oval Office when he's president and lie to the American people about it on national television? And why is he able to pay off Paula Jones $850,000, 4 times as much, 5 times as much as the Trump payment to Stormy Daniels, to get rid of a sexual harassment claim, again, while he's president? And he has no criminal court recourse for that. Why is that deemed to be better than what happened with Trump and Stormy?
I don't think anyone is making that case, Piers. I'm
I'm asking you, what's the difference? What's the difference?
Or any predator. The difference is that he didn't cook the books financially using his own, using back channels in order to pay.
So paying somebody off who says you sexually harassed her, paying nearly $1 million while you're the president of the United States, and then having sex with an intern in the Oval Office and lying about it, that's fine because he's a Democrat.
So when Francesca and other members of the liberal media try to opine about the laws that they know nothing about, and yet they want Donald Trump held to this standard, this is where you and I have to get together, and we have to agree that people like this cannot set the agenda for the rest of us. Can we agree on that? Otherwise, this is what we're going to delve into.
Thank you for playing. Should we or should we not follow the advice of the galactically stupid?